a time I'd give away pieces of myself to make you stay, changing who I was inside, just to stand by your side. I put my dreams behind your own, afraid to be alone, believing love meant sacrifice, no matter the price. But love should never ask you to lose yourself completely. I chose myself this time and left the fear behind, no longer shrinking to fit a space or begging for a place. I finally heard my own voice clear and brought it near. The woman in the mirror smiled for the first time in a while. I stopped apologizing for my dreams or what my heart needs, stopped carrying the weight of blame for someone else's change. I learned my worth doesn't depend on who stays in the end, and every step I take today reflects the truth in every way. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. I chose myself this time and everything aligned. The doors I feared to walk through open wide, with possibility inside. The tears that once filled up my eyes turned into skies where hope could spread its wings and fly higher than before. I used to think choosing me meant losing love, but I was wrong. The right love will never require that I abandon myself. I chose myself this time, and I do it every time, because the heart I fought so hard to save was mine to save. The woman standing here today won't fade away, and every beat inside her heart now sings. I chose myself this time. I chose myself. There was a time I feared the quiet. Every moment I denied it. The silence felt too loud somehow, and I didn't know how to sit alone with my own mind or leave the past behind. I filled every space with noise to avoid my broken voice, but healing came when I stopped running and started listening. I found peace in the silence, beyond the tears and violence of all the thoughts that held me down and made me drown. The quiet became a place to heal, a place to feel, and every breath I slowly took helped me rewrite the book. The empty room no longer scared me. The stillness no longer trapped me. I learned that being on my own could feel like home. I stopped waiting for a sound to turn my world around, because everything I needed most was already close. The answers weren't in someone else's voice, they were in my own. I found peace in the silence and freedom from reliance on memories that couldn't stay. Oh, yesterday the woman I was searching for was behind the door of every quiet moment I embraced with grace. I used to think silence meant loneliness. Now I know it can mean peace, and peace is beautiful. I found peace in the silence and ended my resistance. The storm inside me finally calmed and left me warm. Now every quiet night reminds a healing heart can find a home within itself at last. I found peace in the silence. There was a time I'd look away from the mirror every day, seeing only all the flaws and every scar love caused. I measured worth through someone else's eyes and believed their goodbyes somehow meant there was less in me than there used to be. But broken hearts don't lose their value, they discover it. I learned to love my reflection without needing perfection. Every line and every scar I see tells the story of me. The mirror no longer feels like a judge or something I won't touch. Now it shows a soul that's grown and finally come home. I stopped comparing who I am to who I thought I'd been. Stopped chasing impossible ideals and learned what's real. The woman staring back at me is strong and free, not because she never fell, but because she rose so well. Self-love didn't arrive overnight, it grew every time I chose myself. I learned to love my reflection and found a new direction. No longer asking for approval or survival. The beauty I was searching for was there before, waiting patiently for me to see what was always in me. I spent years looking for validation in places that could never give it, until I found it in my own eyes. I learned to love my reflection and celebrate my progression. Every chapter, every mistake helped shape the path I take. ocean. There was a time when every day felt covered by a shade of gray. I wore my sadness like a coat and carried it wherever I would go. The mirror showed tired eyes holding on to old goodbyes, and laughter felt so far away, like it belonged to yesterday. Then one morning something changed. The sun felt warmer on my face. I remembered how to smile after such a long, long while. Not because the pain was gone, but because I had grown strong. The light returned inside my heart and gave me a brand new start. And every little laugh I found lifted me off the ground. I started noticing simple things, birds in flight and early spring, coffee warming up my hands, and making little plans. The world seemed brighter than before, opening every door to moments I had failed to see. When heartbreak blinded me, happiness didn't arrive all at once. It returned one small moment at a time. I remembered how to smile and stay a little while in the beauty of the present day, instead of running away. The tears no longer rolled my eyes or filled my skies, and every breath I took became a gentle flame. I thought joy had left forever, but it was waiting patiently for me to come back to myself. I remembered how to smile, and life became worthwhile. The woman standing here today won't fade away, because every storm she walked through then led her home again, and every beat inside her heart now sings. I remembered how to smile. Every evening when the sun went down, I listened for a familiar sound. Footsteps walking up the drive, a dream I kept alive. I left a light on in the hall, just in case you'd call, believing someday you'd return with lessons learned. Hope kept me standing there long after you were gone. I stopped waiting at the door like I had before. wishing on a star. I finally closed what I held open wide and stepped outside into a life I couldn't see when I was waiting for you and me. The seasons changed, the years moved on, yet I kept holding on to a version of you that no longer stayed, a memory that slowly faded. I miss the future I imagined most, more than your ghost, and realizing that set me free in ways I couldn't believe. Some doors stay open too long and keep us from moving on. I stopped waiting at the door and found so much more. The world was larger than my pain. Beyond the rain, I learned that healing starts the day you stop looking away from the truth you've always known and choose your I thought closing the door meant giving up, but it really meant choosing myself, and that changed everything. I stopped waiting at the door and don't wait anymore. The love I needed wasn't lost, no matter what it cost, because every step away from the past helped me heal at last, and every beat inside my heart now sings. I stopped waiting at the door. I used to curse the nights I cried, and every time I tried to hold together what fell apart inside my heart. I wished away the hardest days and all the painful ways that love had changed into goodbye without a why. But even pain has something to say if you listen one day. I thank the pain for teaching me what I couldn't yet see, that losing you was not the end, but where I began. Every tear became a guide to the other side, and every scar became a part of a stronger heart. It taught me how to stand alone and build a home inside myself where peace could grow and fears go. It showed me love should never break or make me fake who I am just to be enough for someone's love. What once destroyed me now only shapes me. I thank the pain for teaching me how to finally be free, not from you but from the chains of emotional pain. I learned that healing becomes your teacher. I thank the pain for teaching me how to become what I need to be. Not broken but rebuilt instead, with clarity ahead. And now I see with grateful eyes under open skies, and every beat inside my heart now sings. Thank you for everything. It didn't happen all at once. There wasn't a final goodbye, just little changes day by day, like clouds across the sky. Your laughter didn't sound the same. Your eyes stopped saying my name, and every time I reached for you, you felt harder to hold on to. I knew something was changing, even before I understood it. I watched you drift away, a little more each day, like a boat disappearing into the sea, far away from me. I kept waving from the shore, wanting what we had before. But no matter how hard I tried, the tide kept pulling you away. The conversations grew so short, the silence grew so long. I kept pretending we were fine while feeling something wrong. I searched your voice for signs of love the way it used to be, but every answer felt distant, like you were already leaving me. The hardest part wasn't losing you, it was watching it happen slowly. I watched you drift away while begging my heart to stay, believing somehow we could find what we'd left behind. But love can't survive alone, no matter how tightly it's held. And eventually I had to face what I already knew. Sometimes people leave long before they go, and sometimes hearts say goodbye before words ever do. I just wasn't ready to see it. I watched you drift away until you faded into yesterday, and though it hurt to let you go, it helped me grow. Now the waves no longer pull me under or fill my heart with wonder, because every tide that carried you away brought me back to myself someday. There were nights I cried for hours beneath the fading stars and flowers, holding pieces of a broken dream that wasn't what it seemed. The pillow knew my every fear, every lonely tear. The silence heard my whispered prayers and all my hidden scars. I thought the rain would never end, but storms can to break apart began to restart. Healing isn't forgetting the pain, it's learning to live beyond it. My tears learned how to rest, and so did all the stress. The weight I carried disappeared along with fear. Now every sunrise feels brand new, with a clearer view, and every breath inside my soul says you've grown. I don't miss crying for you, I miss the person I was before the hurt. And now I'm finding her again. My tears learned how to rest, and life feels lighter in my chest. The storm that once consumed my sky has drifted by. The woman standing here today has found her way, and every beat inside her heart now knows. My tears learn how to I thought I had reached the end when everything fell apart back then. Like that was all my story had, the good, the love, the bad. I didn't know beyond the pain life could bloom again. That broken page is on the end, just where something new begins. The ending I once feared the most was just a turning page. The best chapter was yet to come after all was said and done. When I thought the story faded out, it changed its route. Every tear became the ink that made me think maybe endings are a start to a brand new heart. I stopped rereading what was lost at any cost and started writing who I am without a plan. The future felt uncertain still, but full of will, like something waiting just for me to set it free. I didn't need to understand it all, just trust the next page. The best chapter was yet to come, and I have just begun to live a story built on light after the night. No longer bound by what came before, I'm something more, and every beat inside my heart now knows I'm home. I used to think my story was broken, but it was still being written, and the author was always me. The best chapter was yet to come, and now I've become the woman who writes her own way. now sings the best chapter was yet to come. I spent so long looking outside for something to fill the void inside, thinking love was something I must chase to find my place. I gave my heart away so fast, believing it would always last. But every road I walked through pain led me back again. What I searched for in someone else was waiting in myself. The best thing I found was me. Finally I can see I was never truly lost at all. Through every fall I was learning how to rise through my own eyes, and every tear that shaped my past couldn't hold me back. I stopped needing validation from broken conversations, stopped depending on a love that fades like passing days. I learned to stand on my own ground without a sound, and realized I was always enough, even through the rough. The moment I chose my own name, everything else changed. The best thing I found was me, and now I am finally free, no longer searching in the dark for a missing heart, because I became the light I need to finally breathe, and every beat inside my soul declares I am here. I thought I lost everything when you left, but I found something greater. I found myself. The best thing I found was me, and that's all I need. No past can take this truth away or dim my day. I am no longer who I was before. I am something more, and every beat inside my heart now sings. The best thing I found was me. Your name used to live on my lips like a prayer I couldn't quit. Every song, every passing street brought your memory back to me. I whispered it into the night when nothing felt right, holding on to what remained of a love I couldn't explain. Some names become part of your soul until it's time to let them go. The last time I said your name, something inside I used to speak your name like hope, like something I could hold, believing if I said it enough, you might come home. But time taught me a different truth about me and you. Some stories end without a fight and fade into the night. Letting go isn't losing love, it's releasing what no longer lives. The last time I said your name, I stopped carrying the blame, stopped wondering what I could have done to become the one. Because love should never need to beg or hang by a thread, and finally my heart could breathe again without the pain. I thought forgetting your name would heal me, but healing came when I could remember without breaking. The last time I said your name, it sounded different than before. Not a cry, not a prayer, not a wound anymore. Just a memory passing through, something that was true, and every beat inside my heart became the last time I said your name. I used to think the story ended the day my broken heart was mended, like healing was the final page after all the pain and rage. But life was waiting patiently with so much left for me, beyond the tears, beyond the ache, beyond every heartbreak. There was a whole world waiting on the other side of healing. The life beyond heartbreak is brighter than I could have imagined, filled with dreams I never saw behind the hurt before. Every sunrise feels brand new, every sky a different blue, and every step I take today leads me further on my way. I laugh a little easier now, I carry less somehow. The wounds that once defined my days have faded away. I no longer measure happiness by what I miss, because I've learned that joy can grow after letting go. Healing wasn't the destination, it was the beginning. The life beyond heartbreak is mine to create, no longer built around the past or shadows that couldn't last. I found adventures waiting here, beyond the fear, and every dream inside my soul has room to grow. survival was enough, until I learned how to truly live. And living feels beautiful. The life beyond heartbreak was worth every step it takes. The woman standing in the light has won her fight, not against the past or you, but against what she went through. And every beat inside her heart now sings the life beyond heartbreak. I carried our dreams on my shoulders as the nights grew colder, believing if I loved enough, it would somehow be enough. I held together what was falling apart with my fragile heart, trying to save what you let go a long time ago. Love was never meant to feel this heavy, yet I carried it anyway. The love I carried alone became a weight of stone. I kept building bridges for two while losing me and you. I gave my all and then some more, till I couldn't anymore. And finally I understood, love can't survive alone. I defended every excuse you made while pieces of us faded. I convinced myself we'd be alright if I just held on tight. But every promise I protected slowly disconnected from the reality I couldn't face. Looking at your empty space, the strongest hearts still break when they're carrying love for two. The love I carried alone followed me when I was on my own. Every unanswered call and silent day took a piece away. I thought sacrifice could make you stay, but love doesn't work that way. And the truth finally came to me. You had already left emotionally. I blame myself for so long for not being enough. But one person can't hold together a relationship built for two. The love I carried alone no longer feels like home. I put the burden down at last and left it in the past. Now my hands are free to hold the future as it unfolds. And every beat inside my heart has grown beyond the love I carried alone. The moon was hanging low that night, silver tears and fading light. I sat alone with memories drifting through the breeze. Every photograph, every song that I had carried for so long, lay scattered on the floor beside me, like leaves from a dying tree. I knew I couldn't keep holding on to someone already gone. The night I let you go felt like the first snowfall, quiet, cold, and beautiful somehow. As I released you now, I watched the pain leave with the wind and healing begin. The night I finally set you free, I found a piece of me. I stopped replaying every word, every promise I'd once heard. Stopped searching for a reason why. Beneath the midnight sky, the questions slowly lost their weight, and so did fate. The future opened like a door to something more. Sometimes goodbye is not a word, it's a decision in your heart. The night I let you go, the river of sorrow flowed, no longer pulling me beneath or stealing my sleep. I chose peace instead of pain, again and again, and every star above seemed to know it was time to let go. I thought losing you would break me, but holding on was what hurt most. And that night I finally understood. The night I let you go, a new light began to glow inside a heart that once believed it could never leave. The woman standing in the dawn was moving on, and every beat inside her soul now knows. The night I let you go, I came back home. For a while I felt broken, like a story left unspoken. Pieces of my heart were scattered wide, with nowhere left to hide. I tried to gather what remained after all the pain, not knowing every shattered part was shaping who I am. Sometimes things fall apart so they can come together differently. The pieces came together better than ever, not the same as before the fall, but stronger through it all. Every crack became alive in a new desire. for love to stay, and lost herself that way. I started building something new with the clear of you, a life that didn't depend on fear, on needing someone near. The person I was becoming was waiting inside the healing. The pieces came together through every stormy weather, the tears, the nights, the lonely days helped me find my way. Now the mirror shows a heart that survived the dark, and every step I take confirms how much I've learned. I used to wish I could go back to who I was before the pain, but now I see this version is stronger. The pieces came together. Now I know forever doesn't mean holding on to what has gone. It means moving on. The woman standing here today has found her way, and every beat inside her heart now tells the pieces came together. You held my hand beneath the stars and swore we'd never be apart. You painted pictures of our future days in 1,000 different ways. I believed every word you said, every dream inside my head, never thinking love could fade or promises could break. I built my world around your vows, but where are they now? The promise you couldn't keep still visits me in my sleep, like an echo from a distant shore, knocking at my door. You said forever, then you left and took away what was left of the faith I used to hold so deep. The promise you couldn't keep. I remember every late night call, how we dreamed beyond it all. You said we'd fight through any storm and keep each other warm, but somewhere along the road your heart let go, while mine kept holding on long after you were gone. The hardest thing to understand is how forever slipped through our hands. The promise you couldn't keep left a wound beneath my skin so deep. Every memory reminds me still of what time couldn't heal. I trusted every word you gave, every plan we made, but forever turned into goodbye without a reason why. Maybe you meant every word back then. Maybe life changed your heart, but broken promises still break hearts. survived the promise you couldn't keep. I carried every memory like chains wrapped around me. Every broken promise, every tear stayed with me for years. I thought the pain was mine to keep, buried far too deep. Like if I let it go somehow, I'd lose a part of me now. But healing whispered quietly, you don't have to carry this forever. The weight fell from my shoulders, and the world felt so much closer. The burden I held for all this time no longer filled my mind. I finally put the past down and turned around to see a brighter road ahead, where hope could spread. Stop collecting every scar like proof of who we are. Stopped replaying every goodbye beneath a lonely sky. The hurt I thought would never leave released its grip on me, and every breath became a sign that my life was mine. The moment I forgave the past, my heart became lighter last. The weight fell from my shoulders as I grew older. I learned that strength is not holding on. When something is gone, it's finding courage to release and choosing peace over all the pain that once remained. Like endless rain. I thought letting go meant losing everything, but it gave me room to breathe and room to become who I was meant to be. The weight fell from my shoulders, and my heart grew bolder. The woman standing here today has found a way, no longer trapped by yesterday or words unsaid. And every beat inside her soul now knows the weight fell from my shoulders. I spent so long beneath the clouds, lost inside the crowds, walking through days without a spark, living in the dark. Colors seem to fade away, night looked just like day. empty and gone. Then slowly, without warning, the light began returning. The world felt bright again, like sunshine after rain. Every color came alive, and so did I. The sky looked whiter than before, opening every door, and every breath inside my chest felt like a fresh start. I noticed flowers by the road in lighter loads, the music playing in the air and hope everywhere. I laughed without forcing a smile, stayed present for a while, and realized happiness can grow after sorrow. The world never lost its light, I was just learning how to see it again. The world felt bright again, and I welcomed it in. The pain that once covered my view could no longer hide the truth, that healing isn't moving back, it's finding a new path. And every step I take today leads me further on my way. I thought heartbreak had changed everything, and it did. It taught me how precious joy can be. The world felt bright again, and so did everything within. The woman standing in the sun, oh, she has won. Not against someone else, but against the fear herself. And every beat inside her heart now says, the world felt bright again. We didn't break apart one night. There wasn't one big fight, just little distances growing wide between your heart and mine. The way you looked at me had changed, though nothing felt explained. And every day another piece of us slipped quietly away. It's strange how two people can be so close and still drift apart. We became strangers slowly, a little more lonely. Every conversation lost its spark and left us in the dark. I watched the love we used to know fade like falling snow, and neither one of us could say when we slipped away. The inside jokes stopped making sense, the silence grew intense. The future we once talked about was filled with doubt. I kept reaching for your hand, trying to understand why someone standing next to me felt so far sudden. They're the ones that happen slowly. We became strangers slowly, though you still knew me, at least the version I used to be. Before the hurt in me, the smiles became polite instead of everything we said, and love became a memory before it left completely. I kept hoping we'd find our way back to the people we used to be. But sometimes the road only goes forward. We became strangers slowly, but now it doesn't own me, because every ending taught my heart a brand new start. And though I miss the way we were, the truth is clearer. Every beat inside my chest now knows we became strangers slowly. You sat beside me every night, but something wasn't right. You smile looked the same somehow, yet it never reached me now. The room was full of quiet space, though we shared the same place. And every time I looked your way, I felt you drifting away. Your body stayed, but your heart had already gone. You were gone before you left, before the final step, before the goodbye crossed your lips, or the ending hit. I felt the distance in your eyes, behind your disguise. And every day it became clear you weren't really here. I kept trying to reach your soul while losing my control, searching for the person I once knew inside of you. But every conversation felt rehearsed, like a blessing turned to a curse. The love we built began to fade without a word being said. Sometimes the longest goodbye starts long before the leaving. You were gone before you left, and that's what hurt the best. Not the moment that you walked away, but watching you fade each day. I held on to had left in your heart.